So let's call the meeting to order. I think we have a quorum just barely. So thank everyone for being here. Just note that this meeting is being recorded, both audio and video. We are going to skip with their Bliffy, who was coming to give us a report on the Friends of the Senior Center, was unable to make it. Apparently she called late this afternoon.
Yes, unfortunately at the last minute found out. I believe there were going to be two representatives from the Friends group attend, and they unfortunately. Can you hear us okay, Michael?
I can, yeah. Can you
Um,
hear me?
we can, yes, thank you.
Okay, good, thank you.
We anyway, they were unfortunately not able to make it, and it was at the last minute. So what I did is give them the date for March. We'll talk about that further down, but anyway.
I think it's just us, so we can skip over public comment and move into the review and approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which is November. Any comments or questions before entertaining a motion to approve the minutes from our November 14th meeting?
So moved.
Second,
Second,
all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Anyone approving our minutes? Good. Kim, it's you.
It's me.
It's you.
Good evening, everybody. Happy New Year. Hope everyone had a wonderful holiday season and a good kickoff to the new year. Staff updates, just so you're aware, we have Emily Higgins on board as our program coordinator. Mentioned that before. She started October 21st. Our new staff assistant is Kay Lutz, and Kay started on November 21st. And we now also have a new principal clerk, Sarah Weber, in place, and she started on December 12th. So just giving you the update there.
Kay is her title is.
Kay is staff assistant. And Sarah Weber is principal.
And Sarah's a Hampshire graduate.
All right. You've had an opportunity to meet Sarah. Great.
I have several.
Yes, so if you have not gotten a chance to meet everybody, I certainly encourage you to stop by and say hello. We are now getting everybody on board as quickly as we can to be off and running for the new year.
So, and everyone's happy? Could you?
Yes, everyone's ecstatic.
Okay, so could you, like, I know this is, so who used to be Sarah? Who is Sarah before Sarah?
Jody
Okay.
Page was our principal clerk, which is now.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And
Thank
so
you.
Sarah will be at the reception desk along with Laura. So Sarah and Laura typically are the two first people that greet everybody as they come here to the senior center. And everybody, quite frankly, has been tremendous getting on board and getting up to speed as quickly as possible. So yeah, in good shape in that way. Building. Just a few updates. We did put in the recent edition of the Chronicle an update to our inclement weather policy. I just wanted to share that with everyone. Essentially, the building, it follows the municipal schedule. So if municipal buildings are either closed for the day, open late, or closed early, the senior center follows that schedule and includes the staff in the building as well. And we're going to leave the policy at that. In the past, we have followed the school schedule for our programs. So if there was a delay opening for the school, we started our classes late. If the school was canceled, we canceled all of our events for the day. So what that essentially meant is there were times that we were in here with no programs, even though municipal buildings were open. And we got a lot of feedback on that because although things aligned at times, there were also times that the schools proactively made changes to their schedule, and unfortunately it didn't snow, or it was not what was expected, and then we had followed suit and canceled everything when we probably could have held programs. So we got a lot of feedback that people felt programs were sort of canceled or changed needlessly. And so we are going to work with all the instructors, especially those that have classes in the morning, since that tends to be where the greatest impact is, and work with them individually around holding classes. So unless the mayor closes municipal buildings for the day early or opens late. We'll be here with classes and we'll do our best to get the word out to everybody. We're gonna ask instructors to let us know at the beginning of the day if they can't make it, so we can get out messages to everybody as quickly as possible. We also get a lot of phone calls at the front desk as well if the weather's bad, about people inquiring for classes anyway. So this way, kind of, I think, keeps it a little bit cleaner, and we're not canceling classes ahead of time and preventing those times when we could have held classes. So that is in the Chronicle. Couple other things regarding the building. Last time I mentioned that we were sharing space with several departments with City Hall. And those departments, as of today, are both back in their traditional locations in City Hall. So the auditors have returned back to City Hall, as well as planning and sustainability. It was wonderful having two city departments here. I think it was great for them, to get to see the senior center and the services and programs that we provide. Also great for us to get to see them a little bit more frequently and get a better sense of who they all are and what they do. We all communicate pretty frequently via email, and we do see each other occasionally, but it was nice to have that connection in a little bit more extensive way for that period of time. So enjoyed having them here, and they are now back in their respective offices. Winter market, we do have a couple more dates for the winter market, 2 in January, 2 in February, 2 in March, and 1 in April. So they continue to happen. There is one scheduled for this coming Saturday. They continue to happen. And the only other date update for the building is that January 20th is our next holiday. So we're closed on that day for Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Couple updates around programs and services. Hi, Adrian. Couple programs and services. We're really excited about this group, but for those of you that know or read, Rich Slazek, who is our Chronicle writer, who has been writing for the Chronicle now for some time. Rich is going to start a informal discussion group, kind of a Northampton nostalgia group. And it's really meant to be an ongoing discussion, people sharing memories, people asking questions really around the history of Northampton. What was downtown in that building a while ago, or do you remember kind of discussion? So we're excited about that and think that that'll be a neat group for people to attend, whether you're born and raised in Northampton or whether you're new to the area. I think it'll be a fun discussion group. We've got a handful of art classes coming up in January. We have a glass art Hearts with Sherry Lee coming up in January 14th. We also have a new intro to basic drawing class. We also have a liquid watercolor paint. So if you're interested in anything art related, we've got some great classes lined up for January. Fuel assistance we talked about last time continues to be a point where we are scheduling appointments for fuel assistance. There are available appointments, and they will run, they've been running from November 14th all the way through to April. So if anybody's looking for an appointment for fuel assistance, give us a call. Be happy to set those up. Couple statistics for you for November and December. We had 79 orientations, 68 new members and 11 returning. We had a daily average attendance of 162, and Fridays continue to be our busiest day. We're averaging over 200 people on Fridays, and 807 dine-in and curbside meals. So wow. Thanks to everyone who makes that happen. Again, that's over November and December, so that's why that number is a little bit larger than last time. But yeah, Kevin's doing an amazing job, as well as all of our volunteers in the bistro, to serve food both here and curbside. And so that's just a couple stats for that time. And lastly, my update, I'm looking at Jean, Arts Night Out. Arts Night Out is tomorrow night. If anybody would like to join, we have Paul Griffin has art at this point displayed in the hallway.
His photographs.
Yes, photographs, yeah. Yes. And then Rachel Jenkins has just put her artwork up as well, and will be here. So if you are not doing anything between 5 and 7 tomorrow, this is the place to be. There are other places in the city you can also visit for wonderful art, but of course, partial start here. We'll have both artists on hand, as well as a wonderful spread of cookies and sweets and
it's really been working out.
It's been really working out, and I was just we were talking about it as a team, and I think what's been really nice is first of all, refreshments always help, and having them in the lobby with art throughout the building. It really has become not only just about the art, but it's also been about hanging out, quite frankly. Like, we've had people that have been here for an hour or so, and a lot of times they have connections with the artist, but people are really kind of not just looking at the art, but staying and talking and connecting and just enjoying being in the building. So it has been an opportunity certainly to feature those two artists, but also talk a little bit about the services that we offer here, and people ask questions about the building when they're here too. So the past couple of dates have been great. We anticipate tomorrow will be as well. And then the next ones, the additional dates are March 14th, May 9th, and July 11th. And if you would like to volunteer to be at one of those, please let me know which one of those dates you'd like to do. Even if you're not there 5 to 7, but want to be there for part of the time, it might be a great opportunity for you to connect with people as well and talk a little bit about the Council on Aging, or maybe get feedback from people coming in. But if you'd like to join us for one of those dates, please let us know. We do have a staff member. I'll be here tomorrow. Nancy will be here for the date in March.
And I'll be.
What were those dates again?
March 14th,
Yeah.
May 9th, and July 11th.
7-11.
7-11 and 5 to 7.
Yeah,
are
those
the
are,
times that we're here.
it closes earlier than the other arts night outs in town. They go to 8 usually. Sometimes even.
So all the more reason to start here.
Yeah.
All the
And
more
plus there's a
reasons to
parking
start.
lot.
Right,
Yes, 2 good reasons. There's a lot of great reasons.
the
to
parking lot
start.
first. Parking lot refreshments start here.
Yeah, a lot of great reasons to start here. But anyway, I will be completely honest with you. I kept my report a little brief this time around because we were expecting another presentation, so a little shorter than usual, but that's where we're at for the moment. So yeah.
So back to the inclement weather policy.
Mhm.
So am I going to assume correctly that even though the decision is made, the city buildings can stay open, but if you guys feel that the roads are crappy, that you can pull your transportation off? You can stop transportation services even if the building is open, if you felt it was needed.
Probably could. I mean, part of that, considering the partnerships that we have for transportation, is PVTA, so obviously
Right.
with them, and then Cosmic Cab would be the other component of that. So certainly would be working with them just to
Get a sense, yeah. I
get
just don't
get
think
a
that there's
sense,
flexibility there, that we're not bound to keep it open just because the decision was made to keep the building open if the roads weren't safe.
No, and I say that one more time.
That
I just want to make sure I'm understanding your question.
if a decision was made that it was okay to keep buildings open, but there was a feeling amongst the transportation providers that the roads were not that safe,
Mhm.
that a decision could be made to stop the transportation.
Sure.
Even if the buildings were open, that you still had that flexibility.
That would be something that we would call Cosmic Cab and talk
Right,
about.
but it wasn't, you didn't have to have a mayor say you needed permission to do that.
No,
That's where it's
in
going.
terms of that, what I'm referring to in that is the building itself.
Right, okay.
The building
that's just to
itself, the
clarify, yeah.
presence of staff in the
Gotcha.
building. That's
Good.
that's what would follow, and then if any of the other ancillary pieces need to be adjusted, we can certainly do
How
that.
would you know if it happened during the middle of the day? All of a sudden, the lights now turned into a blizzard and the city hall and everything else closed. How would you know that that happened? Do they contact you?
Yes, there's a communication chain within the city that we get calls or texts that directly come from mayor's office updates. So, yeah,
Okay.
we hear directly from the mayor's office if there's going to be any changes.
So I know that the Friends gonna send a representative, but I've been wondering, like, because I know that, do they have an email list? Like, I would like to be put on it, it seems like all of us it would be a good idea if, to share, if they have, like a Facebook page. I'd like to know how I could follow
We
what
can
they're
give the
doing.
question, and obviously that's a question for them to answer. We can provide some questions perhaps in advance, just so that they could come prepared.
Yeah,
Yeah, my sense is you can, anyone can join to be a member of the Friends.
well, I thought maybe one of you guys got emails from them, no?
No,
But that sort of slides us into the next agenda item on where we were with other organizations or city departments attending meetings. We had started that list and
Yes, we do have a list going, and I think to talk a little bit about that and to kind of go with where your question was, Jean, is with anybody that we're inviting, they are also interested if we have any pointed questions, that they, any material they want. We want them to be sure to cover while they're here.
Mhm.
So I can certainly share that information with the Friends group and just say
Yeah.
that you're interested in, and
Well, yeah, because,
updates or contacts from them.
because I know that they have a big fundraiser that's their golf thing, right?
Mhm.
And so I thought that if I could be aware of it, I could try to share that with other people I know who are golfers and that kind of thing, and just to try to be supportive of that, you know?
Sure. And one of the things that I did as I was talking with them and inviting them, that I sort of expressed to them that first of all was wanting to be aware of what they're doing, but also through the lens of, is there a way that we can collaborate or be helpful? And so I will again highlight that with them as they come, and communication, ongoing communication may also be a question too. Yes, the golf tournament is in May. I know in terms of information regarding that, typically there's a section of the Chronicle that features information from the Friends, but there's also obviously other ways that they communicate too. So
Mhm.
communication with them, I'll be sure to bring that up.
I'm just thinking maybe we can, with them, I don't know if it's applicable for other folks, ask them. Way back before we were told we couldn't, there was always a representative from the Friends at one of our meetings. So that took care of the communication issue.
Right,
But because of the need to have the brighter legal wall between, that was,
Right.
the city solicitor said, no, that shouldn't prevent asking them to provide us with a monthly update in advance of the meeting, so we can have that as part of our meeting,
Right.
but just, hey, the golf thing's coming up, here's what we're doing, kind of thing, rather than waiting to see it someplace else.
right. The middle was just like something written down, just a paragraph that somebody could read for them. I mean, depending on how.
I would just put it in the agenda.
Okay.
And so we're,
So, oh, sorry.
continue, no, go on.
Okay, where we are at the moment then for our February meeting for February 13th, Chief John Cartledge is going to come from the police department. So I would also ask if there's any specific questions that you have of the chief, anything specific that you're thinking of that I should share with him prior to the meeting?
do the police department or fire department do welfare checks,
Well checks,
Well-being checks.
well-being checks, yeah?
yeah,
You read my mind, I was gonna ask, I think it's police, but we're thinking, we don't need police
Well, I
department.
saw the listing
Yeah.
of things that the Northampton Fire Department gives for the tally for the month,
And is
and
that
a lot
what-
of it was well-being,
well, that's what, then we need to
so I don't know
clarify.
if the police also do that.
they do.
So I think for him is what's their focus on older adults? We don't need to know police A to Z,
Yeah,
but the focus of stuff that's relevant for us. And is given our
Right.
perspective of life.
Also, if the police are working with the community care
Right.
folks and how that, can you, I don't know,
Yeah, the community
Do they-
care, even service.
do they farm out things for elders to those folks?
Okay. I mean, I certainly know he's coming with a few talking points as well, but if there are any other specific,
well, the other one would be, police as far as scams and things like that, that are typically pulled on the elderly that the police have to follow up on.
Do they do that or does the DA's office?
DA's office does, but I'm sure.
I think you have to report it as a crime
Sure is,
before the
yeah.
DA office is going to
DA is-
take action on it.
I would try it as a whole, looks at some scams and things like that, but I certainly can ask.
And I was always wondering if there was a section in the newsletter on current scams that were going on for the elderly. If one of the offices could provide us with information that you could put in the newsletter.
So is the triad program a separate thing? Because that's a sheriff. That would be an interesting thing to figure out.
Maybe it's because it's sheriff or DA's office.
It's a sheriff.
The sheriff?
Sheriff, DA, district, yeah, they're fire rescue, police.
Because you pick stuff up out at the jail. It's the sheriff's office out there.
Yeah, that's easy.
I've been there.
That could, I mean, that could be, if there's a representative specifically to talk about that, we could do, in terms of. We're hoping to also schedule Health and Human Services and have somebody from Health and Human Services come. Also have reached out to fire rescue as well. So I'll confirm, the only date that I have confirmed at the moment is Chief Cartledge for next month. And then we'll just fit in the rest from there. Would there be anybody else? We also mentioned that Northampton neighbors at one point, and Adrian's waving too. Oh, Adrian's got her hand raised too.
Yeah. All the technology. I was just gonna ask what the status is on the community care collaboration with the police department and how that's working out, and yeah, just how that's working out in terms. I'm probably getting the name of it, but the community care that has been established and deal with crises in the city. So that's something the chief could talk about.
Yeah, that should be addressed both, certainly
need to
the
see
chief can,
both
right,
perspectives.
the chief can certainly talk about any interactions in terms of division of community care, and then certainly when we have Health and Human Services attend the meeting, it technically falls under that department, so they will be able to offer some additional information. Anybody else? Any other? Did we say yes to Northampton neighbors or no? I couldn't.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so I'll work on scheduling something with them too. Okay. That's good. Thank you.
So we're gonna ask, the Friends group for March? That's what you're thinking?
Yes, I'm thinking between, I tentatively mentioned March when they said they couldn't come tonight, so I'll follow up with them. I think the next, between the Friends and Health and Human Services, I'll try and confirm
Somebody.
between March and April, those two,
Got it.
see which one falls on which date. Preferably.
Bob, anything from Highland Valley that we need to know about?
Well, they just closed their fiscal year, went through this year they have a new state requirement on auditing. Before when they did all their balance sheets, now it's balance sheet per line item. So you now need to give every service provided by every provider totaled and balanced out for the item, so.
How nice for them.
Pardon?
How nice for them.
So when we went through the closing, it went from, I think, 30 pages to like 260. And the audit firm took, I believe, 2 weeks to do the audit and then give a report.
I'm sure the audit fee went up proportionally as well.
Yes, it did. Good news is that in the past year, the need and supply of services increased by 20%.
Which one increased? The need increased?
Everything, yes, more services, more people,
The ships both rose, huh?
yes. it
But
both
and their
goes-
ability, because I think that, so the need increased by 20% doesn't surprise me.
And then demand, they were equal to the demand on filling
But
it,
were they able to meet everyone's?
everything,
Yeah.
yes,
That's,
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
and they still stayed within budget.
that's,
Matter of fact, I think they gained a little bit of profit somewhere in between there.
You don't call it profit. In a nonprofit, you can't call it profit. They had a positive end.
Yes, a positive,
Positive
net balance.
That's great. That's great.
And they are looking at doing some expansion. But nothing's firm. They've,
Physical spaces.
yes, yeah. And they're working with an architect now on,
Is there more space up there that they could go to?
yes,
So, like, they've been up there forever.
yes, but nothing's been carved in stone as far as expanding into the other parts
Yeah,
of the
well, it's
building.
good. At least if they can expand, they don't have to physically relocate.
Don't have to, right. And they can keep more under one umbrella,
Yeah.
making it easier to manage and control, including the workforce. And they're still always looking for people, and both volunteers and paid staff, so it's
That part doesn't surprise me at all.
doesn't surprise me, yep. And they do, right now they have I believe it's 132 employees.
Hmm.
Good.
Everything seems to be going well. They're still looking for people to serve on the committees and the board. Seems to be a difficult task on getting people to volunteer to work on the boards.
But they got you, Bob. Who else do they need?
About 9 other communities. But
I know.
you realize that the hill towns, it's a,
Do they do the meetings virtually?
pardon, all the meetings are virtual, yes.
Good, so that makes it easier theoretically for someone.
Right, as the hill towns get
Towns.
better communication services,
Yeah.
lines available,
If
they
they have.
can, but you still have to have somebody volunteer. And so far it's scaring more people away, and we're trying to figure out how to reach more areas, whether the board members go out and try to talk to the people at the senior centers and other committees there and let them know that it is not a burdensome task. But it is very interesting.
Good, so you're having fun.
It's learning the language.
Yeah.
Which is the hard part.
Acronym city.
Oh, everything is acronym.
They could probably put in a little blurb in the Chronicle, couldn't they?
If they're looking for outside of Northampton, they're looking for, because they have to have representatives from all their communities.
That's where they're
Yeah.
stuck.
Yeah, so looking for.
And right now they're providing, I believe, 1,300 meals a day.
Hmm.
Good. Well, it's good to hear that, well,
The need is increased and.
I don't know if that's good or not,
Well,
but the fact that they're able to meet an
Meet
increase
the
is
needs,
to me is the good news.
Yeah.
If their profile is increasing, then it might also be a cost for the need to, for people to apply more.
yeah,
Anything else from Happy Valley?
no,
Next meeting is February 13th. Question, would we want to consider I proposed to Kim that we might think about doing some all virtual meetings when it's really cold.
Oh,
Does that
Doesn't
interest
matter.
anybody? I know, we live around the corner.
right.
Mhm.
Right.
Anyone
Well,
else?
it just means my car doesn't get warm.
it's, if it's below 0, I think it might be a question, but other than that, I don't know.
Okay.
I used to go camping in this weather.
Okay. Good for you, Bob. Good for you.
For the safety of myself and everybody else, I do not drive after dark anymore. So I will be virtual until springtime and
Yeah.
longer days. So
Yeah.
just for everybody's well-being.
Well, thank you.
That's very considerate of you, Adrian, very considerate.
Yeah.
That's true for me as well, although in the past I have had good friends provide me a ride, but I certainly don't drive during the dark.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. If there's nothing else, we can be adjourned at 5:32. 3
So moved.
Second,
second. Yeah, we're adjourned. All right. Nice to see you guys on the screen.
Thank you, everybody.
Is that Laura?
Good to see you.